Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Chaz Taylor Pro Wrestling 101. All right, we've gone over the boots, we've gone over the knee pads, we've gone over wiping your feet. I'll get to gear because a real professional wears gear. But we're moving in the ring right now. So the next thing I want to teach you or go over with you the proper way. A lot of stuff is going to come to you. I'm going to throw a lot of things at you. And to make it sense, like I said, I'm teaching you the proper English, and you decide whether you want to use it or not. So I'm teaching you the proper wrestling, and you decide if you want to be a professional or not. So, all right. So once you're inside the ring, there's a lot goes on here. So one of those things from the get-go is moving around in the ring. Again, this is not stable ground, so as you see, the ring moves, okay? So with knees bent, Dad always preached, move like an athlete in the ring. And that's what you are. You're supposed to be an athlete. So you always want to move, for some reason, counterclockwise in the ring, okay? And as I'll say, you're going to stop with your opponent, facing rope to rope or corner to corner. And I'll get to the reasons as we do that. I guess I could do that now, but okay, as you're going corner to corner and rope to rope, the reason you stop there is because that's footwork. You want to make sure your footwork is deliberate. Make sure your footwork has a reason of where you're stepping so you look like an athlete. You don't want to be twinkle toes in here, stepping just anywhere, because say, for instance, if you're in a 10-minute match and you're doing all these unnecessary steps, that shit makes you tired. And if you're an athlete and you want to take all those extra steps, hey, that's on you. But imagine how much better you'd be if you are an athlete and you take sure-footed steps like an athlete. Just some things to think about. So, all right. Oh, hey, another shirt here from our Etsy page. American Mullet, Chaz Taylor, baby. Check out that flow. All right, so as you're walking around the ring, you're always walking, like I said, in counterclockwise, okay? And pay attention to your opponent, because you don't want to be up too far on your opponent or back behind. Not being sexual there, but, okay? So counterclockwise, corner to corner. You see how unathletic that looked as I'm over here and I step back into position? That's one of the things that separate a good wrestler and those guys that you put on Mount Rushmore of wrestling. That's the reason I'm going over all these things that I'm going over. Do you want to be one of those guys that's considered Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Or do you want to be an ID10T? It's up to you. So, as I was saying, okay, I brought one of my friends in here to help me today. And you guys may see some of his video coming out soon, but he's a brother of mine. I've shown him a few things, and he's from a lineage of wrestling just like I am. He just so happens to be the grandson of Grizzly Smith. He is also the nephew of Jake the Snake Roberts, and the nephew of Rockin' Robin. And I know y'all know those names. So I'm gonna bring my brother in here now. Brett Neighbors. All right, so as I was saying, walking around the ring, move like an athlete, okay? If you notice his footwork, come back around here a little bit, you don't cross your feet. Don't cross your feet. Move like an athlete. All right? So you're walking just like you're walking. You catch that? You see the footwork? Stop corner to corner, okay? We're getting ready to tie up. So one thing that my dad always taught me to, and I'm going to come in close for this because I want everybody to hear this. You can stay here, just hang tight. All right. Sometimes when you hear things, you may not always pay attention or remember it or understand it, but when it's put in a sexual way, you damn sure gonna remember it. So you gotta remember you're a professional in here, but sometimes you gotta remember shit. So when you tie up with a guy, always remember left foot forward. So guys that have been at the school already and learned this already, they're sitting back laughing, thinking, all right. So how can I remember always tie up with my left foot forward now? From now on, even when you're sitting at home, jacking off, left foot forward. Guys and girls alike, okay? I bet you're not going to forget that now. So if you want to remember when you're in the ring here to tie up with left foot forward, when you're jacking off from now on, left foot forward. Bet you're not going to forget that, are you? All right, back to what we were doing. All right, walk like an athlete, brother. All right, tie up rope to rope. Left foot's forward. We're going to take a stutter step in, and we're going to tie up. You know what they call that? Collar, elbow. Collar, elbow. Collar, elbow, tie up. Let's bring that in for a little bit for everybody to see. Okay? You got that? Collar, elbow. I know people have heard that term before. Collar, elbow. One of the things, too, I brought him over here because one of the things you see, we're similar in height right now. And a lot of schools don't even think to teach this, but the veterans back in the day, the wise people, taught this. You see how I say we're tight? Okay, stand next to me. Look how much fucking taller he is than me. Okay? In a wrestling ring, we're a team. We beat the shit out of each other, but with respect. When we're in here in the ring, we're working together to bring the fans the best match that we can together. Fair enough?
Fair enough. And here's the thing, too. I want him to be able to next week, next month, whenever his next match is, I want him to be able to work again and to be able to feed his family, and he wants me to do the same.
We're not out here to beat the shit out of each other so you can't support your family. I don't want to get out here and maim him so he can't feed his family. Likewise, we're out here to wrestle. You got to make it look like we're beating the shit out of each other, and we do. We wake up sore every morning from wrestling. Why do you think you hear all these stories about pro wrestlers being on pain pills all the time? It's not because we're playing checkers. So think about that, all right? Another thing, when we're tied up, collar, elbow. Collar, elbow, tie up, okay? You hear that? We're not out here going, okay? This is pro wrestling. Another thing, let's scoot back out here. All right. Another thing that gets under my skin, you see people tie up like this, okay? They'll tie up. What the fuck are they doing with that leg? Really? Are you taken seriously? We're gonna tie up, watch. Tie up again. Now who the fuck takes that seriously? Really? All you have in this ring is credibility, and you're fucking dancing around like a fucking clown. If you're on one leg for balance and the other guy's on two, you're fucking insulting the intelligence of the fan. Am I right or wrong? You're fucking insulting their intelligence.
Show them what happens when you're on one leg.
Fuck, man, come on. All right, circle around again, and we're gonna show the proper tie-up. Okay, watch this now. Jack, get up there and work the camera for a little bit. Follow it with us, will you? All right, I'm going back to his ropes, okay? So if you look at our feet, we're dancing together. Okay, come up again. You see how we're moving around together? Look at that fucking footwork. We're dancing. Tie up again. that up, didn't you? You fucked that up. Okay? You walk together. Whether you go back to rope, corner to corner, you move like an athlete. And again, I said you work together. You're taller, you're shorter. The shorter guy has to work up. So like when we tie up, I stand up. He's shorter, he comes down. You see that? Again, like I said, it's the guys in wrestling that you watch on TV versus the guys that are on your Mount Rushmore. Are you going to be taken seriously when you do these moves, or are you going to be laughed at? That's up to you. Love you guys. Stay tuned. I got another video coming next week. Be fantastic.